You might think President Barack Obama and music icon Bruce Springsteen are unlikely friends, but for more than a decade, the pair has built a relationship around their shared sensibilities and values. Now you can listen to their poignant conversations about fatherhood, race, marriage, music, and the country that's given them both so much. Click the banner to play Renegades, Born in the USA, a Spotify original podcast produced by Higher Ground Audio.
Presented by Comcast.
America, people, politics, culture, entertainment talk that's not allergic to common sense. Step into the rooster's coop, resurrecting American tradition, one issue at a time. Welcome to Unleashed Jeremy Hanson.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you guys doing today? Man, something about the voice. Yeah, who knows? Could just be too much talk. It could be too much yelling. We've got a special guest, Tom Hennigan, on the phone today. Actually, it's going to be the last time he's broadcasting from where he's at. Tom, are you there?
I'm here, Jeremy, and thank you for bringing me on today. And yes, I am in flux. We'll leave it at that. But it's given the conditions we live under right now here in the state of California. It couldn't be a better time. But I thought I'd start off the show today by saying that we are in a grave situation in this country right now. We are under siege by what do you want to call it, this cabal, this ruling elite.
Right.
It has been around for a long time. But they basically, as we've discussed in previous programs, taken total control. They went about taking total control of this country financially, politically, structurally.
Well, let me ask you something.
In every way, fashion, since Ronald Reagan left office. But today I'm sure you're familiar with this individual named Nicole Wallace,
right?
Who was on MSNBC, She used to work for Mr. Bush, of course.
They all have.
And now she's a big-time Biden Democrat. But she spent her whole day raving and ranting, Jeremy, about domestic extremists. Domestic extremists.
Right.
How domestic extremists have to be dealt with. And she's accused various members of Congress of being domestic extremists. So when you got a condition like this, it reminds me actually about even under Bushy Boy and the Patriot Act, it wasn't right out in the open.
Right.
Right now, this thing is right out in the open. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're definitely not afraid to show us how crooked they are. I can tell you that. They just don't care anymore. Hello, Sean, Bird, and Reb.
And they've declared war on the American people. That show you did some time ago was excellent. It's people I know. I think you were right on the money. They've declared war on the American people.
They have.
And basically what they said is, we don't care that you've exposed all our crimes. We got away with it, and nothing's going to happen to us. And we're going to come after you if you try to do anything to us.
Right.
And that's exactly what's going on right now. Right, Jeremy?
That is.
No doubt.
Why don't you tell the people about Russia and what's going on there right now?
Yeah, there was a cyber attack made against Russia. I sent you an email. And this was directly ordered. Whether it was by Biden or not, we don't know if Biden really is in charge of this country.
Right.
But it was directly ordered basically to disable a lot of Russia's, you might say, intelligence capability. And the person I'm told is making all the decisions up there is this woman named Victoria Nuland. You're familiar with her, aren't you, Jeremy? Victoria Nuland?
Familiar with all of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, she was got her son under Bushy Boy, of course, with the Iraq War, Afghanistan. She was part of the project for the New American Century, basically, which had predicted a new Pearl Harbor, which would trigger, decades of war and eventual, turn the United States into a national surveillance state. And then, of course, she worked when Hillary became Secretary of State. She was involved in Hillary's basically neocon wars with Syria and Libya, and of course the coup d'etat in the Ukraine, which brought about the the use of the Ukraine as almost a semi-headquarters for the Democratic National Committee, laundering of money, wanted protocol funds, laundering of bank accruals, and profiteering for major politicians, including Biden and Mitt Romney, through the Bermuda Corporation. So if this is the woman calling the shots, what we have basically, and I'll say it again, Bush, Clinton, CIA, RICO continues. And I think Kamala Harris is basically almost, she's not president outright. She's almost there because from what I hear, she is in contact with these foreign leaders on a daily basis. And you remember her whole staff is tied to Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. And Barack Obama wanted her to be the Democratic nominee to begin with. So what you have basically is Kamala Harris basically taking orders from Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, and Mr. Biden is nothing but a puppet and a stooge, completely and utterly. You know what I'm saying, Jeremy?
You used a word. You said profiteering, and I haven't heard that word in a long time. I think we see profiteering going on up and down the Biden administration. I mean, head over heels profiteering, whether it's our shift from domestic oil to oil over there, whether our shift in giving billions to Iran, because that's coming back in money deals, whether it's our shift in the Paris Accord, where we're shifting money there. But profiteering, there's certain people that make out like bandits using taxpayer money. I would say that this new $1.9 trillion package, this bill that we got today, is profiteering all on its own. What do you think of that?
Well, absolutely. It's I haven't examined the bill that closely. It's basically pork barrel all over the place. They're sending money to fund transgender bathrooms. They're funding money to fund libraries in Pakistan and India. They're sending money to fund, what was that again? The alleged, studies of.
Well, you can literally say studies of anything. I mean, literally, we spent $11 million. Oh man, it's been a few years ago under Obama to see how long it would take a paddlefish to walk up an escalator. Literally, I mean, it's just nonsense. It's baloney. But here's what I think's happening. You always talk about Fabian socialism, and I think we're watching that literally right in front of us. This new bill, this $1.9 trillion bill, literally what this is they are introducing basic universal income. Do you think I'm wrong about that?
You're actually going beyond Fabian socialism to out Marxism when you deal with universal income. And of course, even when you look at the, as we reviewed in the past, Obama came in and was told by some Democrats, I'm going to mention their names, that you had to nationalize these banks right away.
Right.
This bailout, these derivatives that took place under my good old friend Junior Bush, and the big bailout with Pelosi was in on that whole bailout too. By the way, she got a big kickback.
Right.
But that being said, he didn't do that. He brought in Goldman Sachs. He brought in Timothy Geithner. He did a healthcare program, which to this day is basically a handout to a life insurance company. And what he did then is he continued the same basic economic program that was taking place under Bush, and the banks continued to raid the country, get bailouts, get kickbacks, and the Democratic Party at that time decided, well, we're going to continue to reward the bankers and the rich, which went against the whole history of the Democratic Party, going back to Andrew Jackson, FDR, Harry Truman, John F. Kennedy, and what they did then is they started creating economic policies which rewarded the super poor. So what happened to the middle class, as we discussed before? It continued to get hurt, continued to get stuck, continued to get wiped out. That is why the American people voted Donald Trump in as president of the United States, because they said enough of this crap. And of course, when you have the Democratic Party try to nominate Hillary Clinton and the Republican Party try to nominate Jeb Bush,
right,
both of them, in my opinion, belong in jail, I can see how Donald Trump won that election.
Well, what we're watching here, Tom, is about 8% of the total bill. 8% is what's actually going to the people.
Right.
If you would actually look at this for what it is, every single home that makes less than $80,000 is going to get $1,400. Plus, they're going to add on to this. This is an open-ended bill. It's like an omnibus bill that never ends. It's a monstrosity. So here's what happens. If you are living in the U.S., you make less than $80,000 a year, any child you have in your home that's 17 or under, you get an extra $3,000 a year payment for, and that'll be paid right out in checks every month. You'll get them just like a welfare check. And then if you have children that are under 6 years old in your home, every single one of those you get $3,600 for. Now, this is not sustainable. You know that. I know that. Everybody that knows anything about financials when it comes to America, we're already in deep trouble. What do you think people are going to say when their extra money that's coming in, this $3,000 per kid per year and $3,600 per kid per year, and their lousy $1,400, whatever it is? What do you think they're going to say when our money hyperinflates because we have nothing backing it? Literally, we're grabbing money out of thin air. There's nothing backing this money whatsoever except junk bonds, literally, and derivatives that are due, so they're just creating more money. When we hit a hyperinflation and their money isn't worth anything, I'll give you an example. Just a few weeks ago, you could buy a case of Mountain Dew for about $6.50. Now it's over $9.50 for that same case of soda. What happens when it hyperinflates? What are these people going to say then?
Well, when you get hyperinflation, what you do is you're going to drive interest rates through the roof, and the cost of borrowing goes up. The cost of borrowing goes up because the cost of goods and services go up, and that's an across-the-board type of economic reaction to that. This type of this is not even Keynesian economics. I don't know what you want to call it. This is beyond Keynesian economics. This is socialist economics. And when you just print money